Alright. Get this fire going. That smoke's right in my face now. Lovely. Alright, hello everyone. We are at AtKotaki Mountain Stream atKotaki Mountain Stream Campground, which is a free campground here in Takahagi, which is in Ibaraki, Japan. We're not going too big on the fire, it's more just I want one. Keep things warm. Pardon the last of the charcoal, that type of thing. I walked here and it's 11 kilometers, so I'm like, I'm gonna burn the last of the charcoal because, well, let's be honest, that's 300 less grams that I have to carry in my bag, about, which isn't a ton, I know, but still. Reheat the potato. Put an egg in the noodles. Most of the real cooking is going on off screen. The alcohol stove burner. Heating up some water to make tea. And one of these camp meal type of things. Hello, Noah DeBell. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. Now we're cooking. Not literally, just burning. What I do for a living? I'm a teacher. So I work as a teacher. I do outdoor stuff on the weekends. Wish I did outdoor stuff all the time. It'd be fun if, like, this was my job, so I could come here on a weekend when there's less people, get one of the really good spots here. But I'm not. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Hi, Jonathan. Juggle. That's actually pretty cool. I am not coordinated enough to do that. No, I don't think I can. Actually, no, I know I can't. Probably one of those things that I could do it really basically if I tried for a few weeks. Maybe, I don't know. How hard is it to learn juggling? Or like basic, like, ooh, I can juggle. Not like professional level. going to pack out soon by the sounds of it. Or he's already packing up. The only thing I juggle is my schedule. And even that I don't do so well. Six, okay. That's impressive. Let me just get some air on that thing. I don't want to push the fire actually to your right a little bit, so. Or like a. Oh, cool. Let's check it out later. Noah does some juggling. What a smoky fire. Oh, that's nice. I got two of these. I can do both hands. Go. At least I entertain myself. No, 8 subs. Congratulations. Alright, this is just me being goofy. Oh, good. There's boiled. Just means it's tea time. But last night I went like all out. Grilled meat, grilled vegetables. Really fun. Delicious. Today is much more simple. We got pasta, sweet potato, got some eggs. Not even sure what I'm going to do with all the eggs. Tea. Cool. How many siblings do you have? Mm. Water pump. Konnichiwa. Stupid, I just like doing that. I was right, the guy. So, along the river. Oh, thanks, Noah. I'll have to check out your juggling later. I'm on live stream. I can't actually exit the live stream. Yeah. The way this campground's set up, this part is kind of like a spit, and there's the last one. It's right by the river, and I'm here. So a guy who is all the way at the end is leaving, so he's just passing behind me. I think there's a noticeable group who are like get up and go early. And then quite a group that's like, I'm in no rush. I'm gonna have to be home till the afternoon. I take my time, cook my meal, have a little fire, burn the last of the charcoal so I don't have to carry it home. Like a 2-hour walk to the train station from here for me. 2-ish, maybe not exactly 2. No, I just do it a lot. I started camping as a kid. My parents would take us when we were quite young, camping a lot, sitting around the fire. Then I don't think I really camped at all when I was in university. So yeah, elementary with my parents, junior high school, senior high school, sometimes with friends, with family. When I lived in Taiwan, I didn't really camp, which is too bad because Taiwan's actually got a lot of beautiful places to camp. When I lived in Taiwan, I was really into bicycling and hiking. Those were my big things. And then I moved to Japan, still did those. Not as much long distance bicycling, but still hiking. Then I added fishing and camping back in. Yeah, I'm in Takahagi right now. Takahagi, Ibaraki. Ooh. Telling me it doesn't want me to do that. Yeah. That's why everything's written in Japanese. Oh, even my lighter's in Japanese, actually. Yeah, I live in a place, Tochigi Prefecture, which is the next prefecture over from here. So Tochigi is landlocked, actually. It's one of the few landlocked prefectures in Japan. A fisherman. What do I usually eat out here? So last night, for example, I did pork on a stick, did peppers, onion, and eggplant. Just kind of put a grill over here, grilled it, and did that. Also did sweet potato, but I was already full, so I'm just going to reheat the sweet potato over this fire and have it for breakfast. I do a lot of times, especially if I'm like lighter camping, I do these types of things where you just add hot water. So if I'm like camping and hiking, so I go a little lighter. So I carried a lot more stuff to this place. But if I'm like camping and hiking on my Nico or something and it's a multi-day hike, yeah, thank you, Stuart. I am doing well. Then I carry lighter stuff. Here is more heavy, so I don't carry charcoal when I'm hiking and camping. I rely purely on solid alcohol burners. Protein bars, also a lot. How are you, Stuart? What have you been up to? I think Stuart keeps changing his name. Okay. Thank you. We need them. All right. So we're gonna let these burn for a little bit. Get a nice bed of coals or embers. And then that's almost perfect for cooking. Wait, I didn't hear about this, Stuart. What happened? Is he he's at hospice or not quite at that point yet? Jeez. Yeah, let's speed up the process. We want these to basically burn up. Kind of that nice hot flame that's nearly invisible. Cancer. Ugh. Yeah, my mother a few years ago survived a round of cancer. Oh, in the brain. Yeah, fortunately she didn't have them in the brain. That was, my sister got one in her neck. My sister basically, my sister worked as a nurse. You know, she was probably tired and didn't feel good for a while, but just assumed it was from working a crazy schedule. This was COVID. She was an infectious, well, she basically, her area of the hospital dealt a lot with that, so she probably didn't notice till she collapsed, and they checked her, and there was a huge tumor in her neck, pressed up against her spinal cord. That's crazy. 4 tumors in the brain. Wow. Got the kidney, but it's separated to his, oh jeez. Jeez. Yeah. Well, that's kind of, I haven't dealt close with someone who's dying from cancer, but isn't that kind of the beginning of the end? They stop eating. And my sister's some regard was very lucky. Some regard, all regards. Yeah. My my grandmother, really big. She was really big into hunting all of her life. You know, like awards for. At one point, she had the record for like the largest deer shot in Saskatchewan by a woman. Alberta. All that, then gets dementia, and like all of those things they used to do, they can't do anymore. Slowly fading away. Yeah, we got a nice hotbed. Yeah. I'm actually just trying to get a hotbed for cooking on. Heat up our potato. We cooked that side last time, so let's cook this side this time. Oh, I need to get more water. Gents, I will be back in just a minute. I'm back. Yeah. You gotta be somebody else's rock. Okay. I forgot the water filter's pressurized. I can see that. I think fishing is something a lot of people might actually end up growing into. I didn't fish much when I fished a little bit in university, a little bit in senior high school, just not that much. When I lived in Taiwan, I maybe fished once a year. As you can tell, I buy cheap gear when I'm cooking. So this is a sweet potato. I'm heating up water. I'm gonna make egg soup. Potato's already been cooked before. The sweet potato's already been cooked before last night. I just didn't eat it because I was full. Yeah, sweet potato. Popular here. I like sweet potato. Doing a lot more cooking this time than any previous time I've gone camping. Last year, I was going to go camping with family. I wanted to go to this campground. It was really nice. You know, it had a restaurant, 7-Eleven nearby. It wasn't remote. It was like right along the Diagawa. So you kind of pitch most people would pitch their tent. Maybe they'd make coffee or tea or something, but they would go to like the restaurant and stuff in the area because it's right on the Diagawa and Miko, which is a decent area. It's on the edge of Nikko National Park, but it's still where there's a lot of the tourist facilities, stuff like that. I'm just using the charcoal at this point to heat my stuff. Yeah, it was good. Thank you for saying hi. But my wife instead was like, oh, I want to go to this one way up in the mountains because it's got a beautiful view. Let's do it. I think it's story time. Actually, you do a lot of fishing. Some nice fishing too. You know, some of it's schedule. I haven't spotted you live very often anymore. Or as much. I also don't work as late anymore. So it used to be my schedule would have me staying up late working, and like work's boring, so I would put on, you know, YouTube streams. People live streaming and watch them fishing. But last 2 months, it has not been, well, my work has not been as busy. Less hours, which kind of sucks. No, it's just timing. It's more that I'm not awake. Or I'm at something I can't pop off. But I'm going to try to make more. It's just spring is busy for me, early spring. But enough excuses. I'll try to remember to pop in a little more. I'll try to set it up so I can. I don't know. What are the spices? That's what I use for. That's what I use for carrying spices. Yeah. Salt. It's weird sometimes. I don't watch much though. One of my best friends, he's super into WWE and wrestling in general. That makes sense. We're going to spice the water and throw it back on. Put some first in case something gets in there. And heat this back up a little bit. Just let it get warm. In here. Give it some air, increase the temperature. There's other campers around here because it is a campground, but no, I just went by myself. Sometimes I've gone places, and especially if I'm like hiking and camping, and I'll be the only person, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no, there's some other campers around. The guy to our right, so he would be at the last spot. He packed up and left, or is packing up and leaving? You know what? I haven't seen him come back, so he might have completely packed out. Need a few minutes. On the soup. Water heat up. Next step, we'll add eggs. And then that's the long part for making soup like this, or egg soup this way. Here's somebody that has a bear bell. Alright. Noah, thank you for coming by, though. I appreciate it. Go look at your juggling later. We've still got a little bit of time. Keep it warm. Okay. Yeah, I have to go check you out later. using the how long I've been live countdown to time my cooking. And not that I'm. It's not like cooking with gas where you know exactly how long you've been going. It's actually probably more comparable to cooking with electric when you think about it. Cool. There we go. Yep, that feels about right. Egg number 1. We got 3 eggs, so we're going to use them. Honestly, the more I cook, the less I have to carry the 11 kilometers back. I might have put too much water in there. Yeah, miscalculate the water amount. I'm going to siphon a little bit off. Here. Too much water. Oh well. I almost always do that. I put too much water. There. That should be pretty good. Get these heated up. And boink! On we go. This will be the long part. I'm gonna have some tea. Oh, some ash got into my tea. Well, that's life. we're at kind of the boring part where we just wait. So annoyed my watch being broke. I think, yeah, it's all bent out of shape. I think I have a replacement at, I think 99% sure I have a replacement at home for the pin. Well, I know I have replacement pins. I don't know if I have the right size replacement pin. I'm pretty sure I do. It doesn't look like a weird... Sometimes when you buy watches from other countries, you run into this thing where like there's something about it that's weird and not standard for your country, so it becomes the issue. So like I had a mono at one point that I bought while on a trip, and part of the band got damaged and just could not get a replacement band that would fit because it had this weird size. That was a pain. I still have that watch somewhere. Yeah, my first big boy watch, I guess you'd say, was I bought with money from my part-time job when I was in university. That was a diesel. Those were popular back then, kind of the big, bulky watch, black. So I bought that with money, so I had that carried that for years. So pretty much all university I wore that. Then I wanted something lighter eventually and smaller when I moved to Taiwan, because I think some of it was a style thing that I was a bit more conscious about style. You know, early 20s, you're a bit more easy to influence, I'll say. And the style was not that big, thick, heavy watch. So I ended up buying a mono, so much thinner, lighter. I actually really liked the mono. Purple-faced mono, black with purple face. That was kind of cool in Taiwan at that point. So I wore that for the next few years. And then, oh yeah, someone gave me one of those smartwatches that tracks your movement, because I'm really like, you know, they were like, well, you know, you do a lot of hiking and walking and biking, all that stuff. We were curious how much you step. This was coworkers gave it to me for my birthday. I wore that for about 2 years. I liked it. It's the only smart watch I've owned as an adult. But eventually broke. They don't last forever. So then I went back to the mono for a little bit. No. Why wasn't I wearing the mono? Something happened to it. Oh, yeah, that was the thing, is I couldn't find... Oh, good morning, Grant. Yeah. We're just cooking up breakfast here. Got sweet potato. I actually cooked this last night, but I was full, so I didn't eat it. And then I've got egg soup going here. And tea. Grant, how are you? Nice, yeah. I'm at the place I'm at is called AtKotaki Mountain Stream Campground. AtKotaki Mountain Stream Campground. It's a mouthful in English. So free campground. It's in a place called Takahagi. So this is North Ibaraki. Almost in Fukushima. Nice, what's for supper? Let's check the egg soup. Not quite there yet. Cooking egg soup this way takes a long time. Do I have any more water? Yeah, I'm pretty much out of water. Baked chicken wings and fried onion. Ooh, that sounds good. I do like onions. I did onions last night, kind of the same setup, but potato was here cooking in the bottom. Did pork on a stick, onions, peppers, and eggplant. It's pretty good. The pork was quite fatty, so I did the pork sticks 2 batches. The first batch accidentally starts a flash fire, right? All the pork grease is falling in there, pork fat is falling in there, huge fire. But those pork sticks ended up better because it cooked off the fat, so they weren't as fatty. And then the next 2 I did much slower, and so they didn't start that. They were really fatty, and a little bit too fatty for my taste. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. And I ended up busting the pin in my watch band. So now I'm hoping I have the correct size at home to fix it. Yeah, food has been good. Usually I don't go this in-depth for food. But I was like, oh, this place, you can have a fire. There's fire pits here. Why not I bring more food? Charcoal. Yeah, it's slightly annoying about the watch. Yeah, that's about what I've been up to. This is my second time at this campsite. So actually the video I released recently, the one with the thumbnail, it's a free campsite. That was also filmed here, but I was in a different spot. Pictures of the spot that's over there to my right. Or our right, I guess. My other big lesson from this trip is remember the long chopsticks for cooking. Stops your hands from getting so burnt. There we go. Ta-da! Egg soup. Actually, I could have pulled it off like a minute earlier, I guess. All right, now we'll heat up the potato. Let the egg soup cool before we eat it. Otherwise, I'm just going to burn my tongue. I've done that before. There we go. Potato's already been cooked. It's just getting reheated. I cooked it last night. I had way more food than I realized last night, kind of deal. And at the end, I was just cooking the last of the eggplant, being like, you know, I don't even really want to eat this, but it's already on. I kind of have to. Here. So the problem with egg soup is you're trying to get it warm enough to cook the whole egg, but you're also trying to avoid turning it into scrambled eggs, which I did a little bit. I let it get too hot. I should have pulled it off a minute or two earlier. Oh, so it is, you take the water, heat it up. I add salt, pepper, garlic. If you have like broth, that's really good, but I obviously don't here. And then you just cook the soup in it. It's like a very simple, old-timey recipe. Corn, if you have corn, actually corn goes in there good. It's a little bit of throw whatever you have. Kind of wish I'd saved the pork last night. I wish I'd cut some of the fat off and saved it. Put it in there and really thicken it up. Cornstarch also would thicken it up. It's honestly very much like a winter recipe to get warm water into you, or warm fluids. Yep, crack the eggs into the broth. Try not to let it get too hot, or it starts to become scrambled eggs. Controlling the temperature perfectly is really hard over a fire like that. And sweet potato. Some people break up the yolk. I leave them whole because I kind of like them that way. Actually, if I was really thinking ahead, I would have brought like a chicken bouillon cube. That would have been perfect. I didn't put enough salt in it though. I don't know. I've been wanting salt recently. Maybe I'm low on sodium. Usually, I hate the taste of salt. Yeah, it is kind of an interesting... Well, I guess it's simple, right? We have eggs, because eggs don't need to be refrigerated in Japan. So they're much easier to bring out camping. And then other than that, it's stuff you would use for other cooking most of the time, right? The spices. Here's my little spice bottle. A lot of people throw whatever's left over from last night in there, I've seen. Bouillon of those chicken bouillon cubes would probably work really well. But yeah, egg, chicken bouillon cube, leftover, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty fresh. They don't keep them. The way the supply chain works, since they don't wash them, they don't cool them, they can't stay as long, so they do have to sell them fresher. They do have some refrigerated eggs you can find in some places, but obviously those are not the ones I'm going to buy for this. So you can get both in Japan. We go through a lot of eggs, though. I like eggs. My wife likes eggs. My kid likes eggs, so we just buy the fresh ones and kind of just leave them out on the counter because they're gone in a day or two. Lived alone, maybe. Well, they're also sold in 10s, not 12s, compared to the U.S. Let's see, 286, so that would be about $2, 210 US, $2.10 US probably. It's what, 1.8, yeah, 1.8, yeah, $2.10, that kind of range. Quail eggs, I think, are more. I don't usually eat quail eggs, though, so I don't know. Pretty much only buy quail eggs if we're making, like, hot pot. That would have been another option, hot pot. I don't know if I would need a lot more coal. Or charcoal. It's not bad. They're pretty good. They're small. They're used a lot in, you'll see them in like some soup recipes and hot pot. That type of stuff is kind of it. Raw with soy sauce for dipping raw horse meat into. That's pretty good. Boiled, put on noodles. There's quite a few quail. So for my little garden that I have, the fertilizer I use is quail droppings, quite literally. That's from a local farm, which was kind of cool. It's pretty cheap. He's just trying to, I'm sure he's just trying to get rid of it because I bet he's got a lot. So it's like pretty easy to get, sold by the bag. It's dried, but it still works pretty good. At least so far as what I've seen. It's hard to, I don't know. I don't do enough gardening to be able to be like, wow, this one works better. Or this one's good, this one's not good. The tomatoes have, so I start them in, I take the egg container, I put soil in it, I put the seeds in there. So I've started the tomatoes that way. The lettuce has already been planted. Moved into boxes. I need to cull there's too many of the lettuce. So Monday, I think, is going to be a big culling day. Figure out what stays and what goes. Get pots ready for the tomatoes. So this was my first year trying to do lettuce, and I had way too many seeds. Sort of tiny little seeds too on the lettuce. But yeah, if you get a chance, I would suggest trying quail eggs. Yeah, they cook very quickly though because they're small. Most people, yeah, boil them, put them in soup, noodles. In ramen. Oh, food back. Hot, 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 hot. There we go. Gotta let her cool. There's a sweet potato. Oh, perfect. All right, have to let that cool a little bit. Let's spice it up. So we've got salt, pepper, garlic, chili powder, dried lemon. Oh, Fisherman's Lodge is Stewart. I don't know if you actually know Stewart. All right. I'll let that cool. I'm going to grab more water. For a free campground, it's nice. This place is nice in that it has natural bathrooms, A. B, it actually has a sink and stuff for cleaning up. And lots of other stuff. So it is nice in that regard that the amenities are really nice for something free. Well, it's maintained and run by the city of Takahagi. I do wonder if it kind of started as one of those things they were trying to drive more tourism to this part of Takahagi that is, well, it's more remote, and I think that it doesn't have as much going on economically. I think I know. Great, thank you, Grant. Thank you, Terry. Good to see you again. We're obviously still in the same place, Terry. You just popped in last night, I remember. Well, last night from my perspective. All right. Yay, potato. We got an 11-kilometer walk back to the train station, so. Oh, we're up early. Or do you even sleep? I'm not sure it's going to cook that tea. The coals are near done. That's the thing, is it looked pretty having a fire at night and doing a live stream, but, you know, so much of my audience is in North America. It's like, these guys aren't up yet. early is the word for it. All right, so we just got some tea going on the last of the coals. That way I don't have to carry any charcoal back. I actually cooked the sweet potato last night, but there was so much food, I was like, oh, I'm full. I'm not going to eat this. I'll eat it for breakfast. And pretty good. Reheated it. Some salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, the last of the dried lemon. Pretty delicious. Let's see, how's the tea look? Almost there. I kind of learned my lesson. I think it was in Daigou I was camping, about how you don't want to use a tea that has a really high, needs to be at a really high temperature. You want to use something that just needs a very low temperature. There's a lot of factors that are going to affect how hot you can get things. Like it was windy there. It was pretty cold. Well, decently cold, not pretty cold. It was a little cold, windy. Yeah, see, that water isn't very warm. If it was like a green tea or something, or tea that needed pretty high temps, it wouldn't be happening. That was a sweet potato. Let me sort out wash versus trash. Wash, wash, wash. Didn't use, totally forgot about that, to be totally honest. See, not as dark as if we'd gotten it up to a higher temperature. All right. I gotta start sorting things out about what I'm doing with what. Those are cool, those are cool, those are cool, those are cool. Write that down. That needs to wash, that needs to wash. Oh, lots of things to wash. Trash, trash, trash. Wash. I'll drink this and then it'll be time to wash this too. See anything interesting going on? There's a little bit of heat left. Yeah, maybe we can do a little hotter for the tea. No guarantees. But yeah, there's still some activity there. I don't want to add more because we're almost done. Be cleanup time soon enough. There we go, that might get a little hotter. Earthquake comes, let's get knocked out. Soon going to come to my least favorite part of camping, which is clean up and take down. Wash those, need to wash those. Okay, let's see if we can get this really hot. We don't have an open sweet potato, so we can do this. The sweet potato was open. I didn't want to get ash on it. Not that I probably haven't eaten plenty of ash today and yesterday. There we go, there we go. Seeing some live coals in there. Go up and wash those. Bam, I was doing everything all at once. No, that's trash. Also trash. Oh, my bag's good. It's gonna be lighter coming home. Alright, we are almost at my least favorite part of the camp experience. Washing everything, cleaning everything, and packing everything out to leave because I don't want to leave. Although my bag will be quite a bit lighter going home, which would be nice because I got 11 kilometers to walk. In the background, I'm gonna get some of my stuff. At the bottom. One of the maybe arguably annoying things about my bag and how I pack it is, so the tent needs to go at the bottom, obviously, and you can separate off the bottom compartment, right? However, it's not. Actually, now that I've removed my stuff, it might actually work. I'm a little warmer. I'll leave it for a few more minutes. Drink it. gonna try something different with Pack in the Bag. I'm gonna hate it or love it. That's much better. Oh yeah, because someone asked one time, not on this live stream, the knife. So the paracord wrapping I actually did. So I bought this from a blacksmith who, in the city I live in, about once a month, actually once a month, they have a market. And maybe a few times a year this blacksmith shows up. And so what he sold me was the bare knife here and the sheath. I don't love the heat temperament on it, but it's okay. So then I basically marked where the sheath was. It's a hole here. I ran paracord, made a pattern like this, give me something nice to grip onto. Kind of, I guess, a little reminiscent of the wraps that you would see among some pachi. And some katanas actually had a pattern, not as much like this. They went more of a wider X. So give you something to go into your palm, hold on to. Nice little loop at the end. And that's actually what holds it in, because here's the other problem. Right, so loop comes in, through, around, twist, back through. I didn't do it the best one, of course, because I'm on camera. I didn't do my best job. And there you go. So now, nice and secure. All right. But I'm gonna finish the tea. Not really as pressing that I wash the teacup. Still not a bad idea. I should be about, well, let's see, 900 grams of charcoal, 4 sticks of pork, 1 onion, 2 eggplants, and 1 pepper lighter. So yeah. Oh, and the granola. See, 650 grams of granola. I probably ate half. There's probably another 300 grams. So yeah, I'm about 2 kilos lighter. Although I might be fatter. Oh, and 2 tea bags. Those don't really amount to anything. That's like 1.5 grams. What does a tea bag weigh? Yeah, probably 1.5 grams would be my guess. Probably 1 gram of spices. Oh, it's nice out here. I woke up from, the first time we woke up, it was just, the sun was just rising, and the birds were singing. I'm like, wow, this is really nice and really peaceful. I slept like a log. So yesterday, came here, got here around 11:30, set up camp, and then was walking to the Michineki. Someone stops their car, asks me if I want to see like a local famous special place. And I said yes. I got in the car with this complete stranger. I would be the easiest person ever to abduct. And we went out. We saw this 400-year-old cherry tree. It was still in bloom, like on the tail end of its bloom. Extremely beautiful. Then he dropped me off at the Michineki. Oh yeah, I added honey. I bought local honey, so that's 220. Yeah, so maybe I'm bringing back maybe 1.5 kilos later, coming back then. But get some food there. Get a local snack. Get some local honey. Walk back. Start to read my book. I'm like, I'm gonna lay in my tent reading the book. Well, that turned into me taking a nap. I had a lovely nap. Woke up around 6:30, started a fire, did the live stream last night, cleaned up from that, went to bed, and just, I was out. Woke up, got a little cold, put my big blanket over myself, fell back asleep. Woke up from the birds when it was just sunrise, probably 5 something. Fell asleep for another hour, really woke up around 6. So yeah, peaceful and relaxing. That's what I think. Way faster. These cinder blocks could be turned on the short side. I'm not quite sure what was going on when they built these fireplaces, because they're really wide. This one I think has been damaged quite a bit. There's what's going on. They probably built these years and years ago. There's probably more of them. And then, over time, I don't know how long this has been a free campground. Japan's a little bit better about this, maintaining stuff, but Taiwan, that was one thing on Taiwan I would notice was there'd be a lot of, they would build it, and then it would just kind of almost get forgotten and abandoned. Especially, I don't know, maybe that was a Hualien County thing though, because I lived in Hualien County in Taiwan. And there'd be these parks that you'd go to, and it's like, wow, this is really nice. It probably looked really beautiful when it was opened and started and all that, and it hasn't been maintained in years. The jungle's starting to reclaim spots. Kind of wish I had gotten into camping in Taiwan, because there would have been some lovely places. Well, there are some lovely places camping there, and there's also, there are quite a few places in the mountains where I'm like, wow, that'd be a really cool place to go, but I'd have to spend the night somewhere on the way. I'm kind of just delaying at this point the inevitable of having to clean up and get ready to leave. Hmm. What do we got here? Hey, buddy. I'm not sure by the fire is a good place for you. There we go. You can get to focus. Say hi. I need to really trim my nails. Get charcoal all over them. All right, bye-bye. He does not want to leave me now. What's up? He does not want to get off me. There we go. Understick. I should stop delaying. Go home. Or get ready to go home. Back to my normal life. Anyways, chat, how is everyone? Hope you guys are having a good dinner if you're having dinner. All right. I'm going to start with washing everything, so I'm going to go to an hour and 50 minutes. It's a nice even time. I swear I don't have... no, I definitely got something. I want to say, trust me, it's not some mental thing where I like nice, even, round minutes, but it probably is. Maybe it's the dyslexia talking. You can tell I'm super motivated to pack up and go home. Just relaxing. Might rain tonight, but it looks like I still got a while. I mean, well, from my perspective, as long as it doesn't start to rain until I get to the train station. I don't know when my next camping trip's going to be, but as always, I try to make a video and I'll do at least a live stream. If there's connection. Well, everyone, I am going to wrap this up and get ready. Well, I'm going to wash all my stuff, get packed up, and head home. So, everyone, I thank you for coming. If you're rewatching, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in our next adventure.